Hey, everybody, and welcome back. We're about to get into some really interesting stuff, getting deep into market mechanics.
Really interesting stuff, really fascinating.
We're going way beyond just looking at trends, right? I like to think of it as if the market is a dance floor, we're going backstage.
Oh, I like that.
We're going to look at what's going on behind the scene.
Behind the curtain.
We're going to figure out the rhythm, the steps, even the choreographer calling the shots.
It's not about predicting the future, it's about understanding the forces at play.
Exactly. We want to know why the dancers are moving the way they are.
Right.
And a big part of that, I think, are these mysterious figures known as market makers.
Right.
They make it sound kind of ominous, don't they?
They do.
Like they're behind the scenes, pulling strings. What is the real story with market makers?
Yeah. So a lot of times they get a bad rap.
Okay.
You know, people point the finger at them. But market makers, believe it or not, are crucial for a smoothly running market. They provide something called liquidity. And what that means is there's always someone there to buy or sell from.
Got it.
So they're always there to take the other side of your trade.
So they're like those reliable dance partners.
Exactly.
Who are always ready for a spin on the floor.
Exactly. And they're gonna make sure that the music doesn't stop, right?
Yeah.
Keep that music going.
Yeah.
But here's where it gets really, really interesting.
Okay.
They profit off of something called the spread.
The spread.
The spread, which is the difference between the
Right.
buying price and the selling price.
Yeah.
So you go to buy something or you go to sell something and you go to buy something. There's that little difference between those two prices, and that's where they're making their money. So their goal isn't necessarily to pick winning stocks or to time the market perfectly. Their goal is to simply capitalize on volatility.
Okay. So the more movement on the dance floor,
Exactly. The more steps,
the better it is for them.
the better it is for them.
Okay.
That's how they're profiting.
That makes a lot of sense. But how can we regular people get a read on their moves? Because if anybody knows this dance floor, it's the market makers.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right.
This is where it gets fun.
Okay.
The magic really is understanding something called order flow.
Order flow.
Order flow.
Okay.
So imagine being able to see the size and direction of every trade happening in the market
Wow.
in real time. Like you're looking down, you can see all the ebb and the flow of all these different dancers on the floor. You know where they're going, how many of them are going in that direction.
You can feel the momentum.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what order flow is.
So a huge buy order would be like a flash mob.
Yeah.
Suddenly hitting the dance floor, prices would go through the roof.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. And this is a common misconception. Remember, those market makers, they're always there to provide that liquidity.
Right.
So a huge buy order comes in, they're going to absorb that.
Right.
They might nudge the prices up a little bit just to entice some sellers to come in, because remember their goal, keep the market moving. Keep it nice, keep it balanced, keep it danceable.
Wow. So it's like this constant push and pull.
Exactly.
Just really delicate balance that they're maintaining.
All day, every day.
I never thought about it like that. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
So you're saying we can actually see this order flow in action?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Tell me more. How?
So we look at something called the volume profile.
The volume profile.
Volume profile.
Okay.
And what that's going to do is that's going to give us the ability to see different patterns in the market.
Okay.
So it's almost like a heat map of the dance floor.
I like that.
We can see where's everybody congregating,
Okay.
where are the hot spots. We call those high volume nodes,
High volume nodes.
or HVNs for short.
Got it. HVNs.
Yeah. Right. And these are the areas on the dance floor where there's a ton of activity. People are trading in and out. That's where prices tend to bounce around a little bit more, right?
Makes sense.
They're in that area. And then we have the opposite. We have the low volume nodes.
Okay. So that's where it's a little bit quieter.
Yeah, this is where
Maybe the music's a little slower.
Exactly. It's a little bit slower in those areas, and this is where, suddenly a new song comes on, things can change very quickly.
Yeah.
And that's what we look for.
Okay.
We look for those areas because when price breaks through an HVN or an LVN, that's a significant move. That usually signals a breakout or maybe even a reversal.
Hold on. Now, for those of us who might be new to the dance floor, what exactly do we mean by breakout or reversal?
Yeah, great question. So a breakout is like, think of it as the price is kind of stuck in a room. Right. And all of a sudden it punches through the door, or it breaks through the ceiling, or it breaks below the floor, right? It's when we make a new high or a new low that we haven't seen before. That's a breakout.
Okay. Got it.
And a reversal is simply when the price is going in one direction, and then it decides to switch and go in the other.
Got it. So it would be like if the music changed from like a waltz to a tango and people had to adjust their steps.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense. This is incredible.
It is.
So instead of us just blindly following trends, we can actually try to understand the mechanics behind it.
Absolutely.
We can anticipate where that rhythm of the market might go.
Exactly, and that's the whole goal here, right? We're not just reacting to price anymore.
Right.
We're trying to get ahead of it. We're trying to understand what's going to happen next, and order flow really gives us those clues.
So we're not just dancing to the music, we're starting to understand the choreography.
Exactly.
Now I get it.
Mhm.
So what would you say is the biggest takeaway for our listeners today?
Biggest takeaway. Don't chase the trends.
Okay.
Understand why they're happening.
Okay.
Learn to read order flow.
Got it.
Learn to spot those high-volume nodes, low-volume nodes, right?
So know where the crowds are, know where those quieter corners are.
Exactly. And you'll go from being a trader who's just reacting to everything
Right.
to one who anticipates what's going to happen next.
It's about time we learn to lead. Think about it. Where are the HVNs and LVNs in your own trading? What's that order flow telling you? This is just the beginning, everybody, of a whole new level of market understanding.